On this episode, we unbox our awesome TVS 2300 from Magnus and Superchargers, and we build a 408 stroker with the help of an 8-year-old. The engine is back from the machine shop.
Yeah,
Yay.
So they honed these cylinders and they didn't take much metal off. We had 3,000ths gap between our piston and our cylinders before, and it's only about 4,000ths now, maybe even less than that. What I've read is the tolerance can be 3 to 5 thousandths. So we'll just gap those rings, drop it back in, and start fresh.
So the plan is to unload the engine, put it back on the engine stand, and actually assemble some parts into this thing. Currently it is August 22nd, and we need to leave for drag week on September 6th, September 7th.
You're gonna see some new faces in the shop because we're out of time. I got a good buddy from high school that's raced a lot, and he's gonna help us file these rings. On the bearings, the cam bearings were shot. We had one rod bearing that was just almost gone. It was about to spin. Because of that, we went with King treated race bearings, and that's the type of cam bearings that are in the engine right now. And that's the rod bearings and the main bearings we have, so it should be better this time.
We assumed that all of the bearings were super nice high-end stuff, but
we were told they were Kings, but
yeah.
I pulled it apart and they were Cleveite 77s, which, I mean, that's a good bearing. Now it's all treated King stuff. We'll see. I hear that's the best, so that's what we're trying. If we can just get it together in time, it's gonna work.
It's time to unload this thing. Let's do it.
I'm gonna lube up our thingamajigger here so that when it slides into the engine stand over there, it spins easy. These things bind, especially you get a bunch of weight on it. It doesn't want to turn. Don't touch that area, it'll get dirty. This engine stand's really cool. What they did is they spaced it back enough so you can have the flywheel in there. And then also they put all these holes in it so you can take the bolts out of the cam plate that goes to the back of the engine. They also built another piece that goes onto it that'll lock the flywheel. So if you're trying to torque the front balancer or something like that, you can put that piece in, it'll lock the flywheel in place. And I think that's cool, because I've thought these things for years. I don't know why somebody hadn't thought about it before now. It's ready, just drop it on.
Clearly he doesn't know I already told you guys about this.
Lube!
If I said that now.
The person that built this engine, not sure what they were thinking. The pistons are all numbered, so it's balanced and blueprinted. However, they had them just completely misplaced in all the different cylinders. And so in order to clean those, I would have to stamp every single piston to tell me exactly where it came from, because it was running fine, there were no vibrations. And so the guy that we consider an expert says, if it was fine, don't change them. Leave them where they were. So we're gonna clean those by hand. Get it cleaned up. Yeah, then come back and put an engine together, because that's exactly what you should be doing 14 days before you leave. Or is it 13 now?
I don't know. Crazy.
Let's go to the parts cleaning station.
Parts cleaning station.
Yes, my dad has a
do it.
commercial parts cleaner, so we're gonna go drop this stuff. What did I just say?
Commercial parts cleaner.
That's it. Come back there, he's dirty. Needs to be clean.
You need to get in the parts washer, Beth? Hi, doggy. Hi, Haas. Hey.
Just gonna skim the oil off. Goes in the bucket.
He's a real shop dog. Gosh. I just want to crawl in this box and cuddle with this thing.
Trader!
Trader! Oh my gosh. I can't believe it's mine.
Ours. We're married, remember?
Yeah, that's true. It's ours. Oh, babe. We have a blower.
Whoa!
My heavenly days! Oh man, look at this. This is our new TVS 2300 Supercharger from Magnuson. This will be my first experience with Boost. Definitely Roxy's first experience with Boost, because Roxy and I have been at this whole car thing since the onset of my driving. I got her when I was 18, so this is phase 4 for my car. Stock being phase 1. I did heads and cam at 50,000 miles, and it was like 480 to the back tire. That was phase 2. Phase 3 was the 408 stroker, which you guys saw from the onset of the YouTube channel, which was 520, 522 to the tire, and it's been 40 to 50,000 miles since then, 4 years.
That's 180,000 miles on this car. People talk about daily drivers. Emily actually daily drives this GTO.
Oh my gosh, I'm so freaking excited about this, you guys.
Can't wait.
It comes with yeah, I was gonna say, is that what you were gonna say?
Yeah.
Injectors?
We were worried about the injectors because the ones we have are pretty solid, but we didn't know if they would fit. So came with injectors, fuel rails, this thingy.
Vacuum something, I would imagine.
No, I'm sure it's a Boost thingy.
We know nothing about Boost.
We're about to learn.
It's a Boost thingy.
So you have the carbon fiber shaft and then a different pulley on the back to run the blower. And that way you can get optimal boost and adjust it 2 places.
Oh man, game changer.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of work to do because this is like icing on the cake of this build. So this will go on toward the end, and then tuning, and then making sure our suspension is tuned, all that good stuff. Hopefully we get to make some test passes. I was texting with Finnegan today. He said we get there early on Sunday, get through registration, and we can definitely make test passes on Sunday. We shall see. But this is really exciting.
So here, this is a belt. It's got grooves in it.
I actually did order the upgraded cog because I've always watched videos and they're like cog upgrade, cog pulley this, and then the blower just like whines like crazy.
Yeah, I think what happens with, if you have a stock belt, they slip. And so this one's actually grooved, and it feels like there are
I was
pulleys
gonna
in
say
there.
there's the pulleys in
Yeah,
here.
and obviously there's bolts at the top.
Yep.
What's this?
For water, for the heat exchanger.
There you go.
Agua reservoir.
So blower has, at least this blower, has an independent cooling system. So it comes with a tank. I'm assuming this box here is the heat exchanger. You hook it up, it should have electric pump in there somewhere.
Magna charger, it says on the top.
This dog.
He's destroying a piece of paper. Witness the destruction. Maybe it has a key. Can you get it
It
on?
just needs more manpower than you have.
I don't have any manpower.
I don't either.
Evidently,
Oh, I've mustered up
you
half manpower.
you
comes
probably
off.
broke it. Nice, babe.
Sweet. Okay. We have some wiring. We have another belt.
This looks like the serpentine.
Ooh, valley tray.
Oh, nice. We don't have to clean up our old junky one. I hope this one fits the LQ9 because that's not a factory GTO block.
We'll find out.
We shall see.
Yep.
Nice, though.
Our block's not here, so we don't know.
Freaking awesome.
That's fuel hose.
Yeah.
We got like a heavy duty tensioner.
Look at this instruction manual.
How many
Usually
pages?
instructions kind of suck, but these look like they're going to be
Oh,
freaking
colored pictures.
awesome.
How freaking hard is it? Just put some colored pictures in there.
Freaking awesome. Read this to your children. In fact, maybe I'll give this book to Elia, and she can study this, and she can teach us how to install it.
I'm sure she will.
Kudos, Magnuson. Kudos. Fuel manifold, some wiring, some butt connectors, and zip ties.
To me, that looks like the cap that goes over a sensor.
I bet you're right.
We'll figure that out.
There's a lot of stuff in this kit.
New steam port thingamajigger.
Good.
Ooh.
Gaskets, and really nice
Oh,
ones.
those are cool.
Pump booster and hardware for the fuel.
Heat exchanger. Yeah, buddy.
That is adorable.
It's so cute.
Are we going to look at the instructions or just start throwing parts?
No, we're gonna work. I don't have time to guess. Gotta be right.
All right, y'all. Look at all these freaking parts. All right, I had Matt sign the release. He can be on YouTube now. That's Matt, everybody. He's great. We grew up together. Since Aaron and I have been together since I was 14, I grew up with all of his friends being my friends, so Matt's been a friend for 18 years. 18 years, dude.
Thanks, you just made me feel old.
I I did it to both of us.
So Matt and I got into cars together a very long time ago, and it's probably cost both of us what would have made us rich over the years.
Matt's got a square body truck that has an LS that he's gonna build, but
It's sick. Too.
what he has that's running that's badass is a jet boat.
It's a 1990 Youngblood.
Big block, all motor. How much power?
630.
630 horsepower on the water. We're happy he's here. He's gonna help us file rings and put this motor together, and we're gonna have fun doing it because a lot about building cars is doing it with your friends. Okay, we've just done all this crazy math and we've decided that the top ring is going to be 24 thousandths and the bottom ring is going to be 26 thousandths.
Is that right? We're gonna make the top ring
Okay.
open up more, won't we?
Yeah.
So 26 on the top and 24 on the
Okay.
bottom.
Yeah, I wrote 24 and 22, so we all got on different pages.
The point of-
Oops.
Okay, we're gonna there we go.
I thought we were gonna do 24 and 26.
We're
What are you gonna do?
There, we did.
Well, cool. Perfect.
Top one's 26, bottom's 24, or second.
And the oil ring, I guess, is just to size pretty well.
Yeah, you
it
just
looks
wanna
like
check
it
it.
is. As long
We
as it's
used
not more than 15.
all this math that's here on this chart. Tells you all kinds of intricate, detailed information for filing your rings for nitrous versus turbo and supercharger. You
Oh.
stare at it for a while and second guess yourself, and then finally you just make a decision. And there's our decision right there. Wow, Matt, you got really quiet when the camera came on. All right, before we can stick the pistons in, we need something to bolt the rod to, right? Yeah. The guy at the machine shop, Randy, he did a beautiful job polishing this thing. It looks lovely. So we're shoving it back in that 408. Let's do it.
You like that loop?
Yes.
I was looking at all the different types and that stuck out to me.
I've been using this since high school.
Yeah. Which is like 30 years now.
Okay.
Sweet. Man, those bearings look great. The hole is over the hole in the block, so that's all you can ask for.
Burl it up.
Lube it.
Okay, how's that looking?
Looks great to me. That crank looks good.
Come on, baby.
Oh man.
Ooh la la.
Does that still get cut or does it stay in?
Zen is just looking so gorgeous over there.
Can you believe that from high school?
Oh yeah, I remember riding around it like it was yesterday.
I know, it's crazy.
Are we racing?
I thought we were until I got to do a hard one. Well, we're not.
Just because I'm winning, we're not racing?
Yeah, since
All right, I have my ARP torque spec guide here up on my phone. We're torquing these to 60 foot-pounds. Matt is working with thousandths. He's going and measuring. He's taking like a couple of spins on the filer, and then he goes and puts it back in the cylinder.
have a little bit of filing left to do on that one.
Before and after.
Gunk and a wire brush. A soft
Oh, you used
wire brush.
the gunk, guys.
Heck yeah, dude. It worked pretty good.
It's awesome.
I think that's money.
Sweet. This is gonna be really satisfying.
You're good. Needs a little bit more. Not done, but it's nice. Sometimes it's fun just to do a basic job.
How do you feel about that, Matt?
I don't know.
He gave you a really hard job, and then he's over there just
Here,
scrubbing.
we're adding boost. Matt, will you make this perfect?
That's because Matt's experienced with it and I'm not.
And I'm just running the camera. Last one.
Yes, ma'am.
Last one.
No,
Gotta test
I don't
fit
wanna-
it first.
Yeah, I know it won't fit, but I want to break my routine. Nope, won't fit. Overlaps. That's close. That's it.
Nice.
Good job, dude. Nice work.
Thank you.
Roxy says thank you. It is engine build day. We have good help. Last night I sacked out. I was just like done, dead to the world at midnight, 12:30. I went to bed. Aaron was raring to go, so he stayed up until like 3:30 this morning, and he got the rings put on the pistons. Dude, it's time. We're gonna throw this thing together.
Yeah.
You ready to do this, dude?
Yes.
Time to soak some lifters.
Yeah.
They're submerged. We use 1030 weight. Now we will let them sit in the oil and marinate.
Huh?
They're gonna marinate like a good steak. Wiping the cylinder walls down for the final time.
I've already done the crankshaft. I wiped it down twice. We had so much of an issue with those bearings last time that we're just trying to be super cautious to not get dirt in it. So I just cleaned the hammer up really well. We'll use the rubber into this to push the pistons down in there. I wanted to get in all the little crevices of the hammer because I don't want anything falling on top of that piston.
Wow.
How do the cylinders look? Pretty
Pretty
clean.
good.
Time to slam some pistons in this here LQ9 stroker motor. Hey kid, when you were little bitty, 3, you sat right upon this engine and you patted it. It's true. She was little bitty, 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 bitty. She's sprouting up.
Engine oil here.
Moisturizing the cylinder walls of Roxy's heart.
Do one at a time so that the dust doesn't collect on the oil.
We lubricated everything prior to installation. First the piston, then the rod, then the cap. And then it was time to install it.
You could get
Bolts.
bolts, yes.
These have assembly grease on them.
Get these started. You don't want to tap on that cap with the hammer.
Beautiful.
We mic'd the crank, actually our machine shop. He mic'd the crank for us, the block, he honed it, checked the bore, made sure everything was good. And it was. So we're gonna run it. You guys got it. We can tighten that on, you can make some room.
Okay. Okay, those are torqued.
There's a wiggle back and forth.
Yes.
Yeah, you do it. Okay, you can take this.
Okay.
See that little indention right there? It's gotta go in there. It'll slide in from the top.
This way?
Yep.
Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
What 8-year-old can say they installed bearings in an engine? That's cool. This is one of the bearings that went bad.
Wow.
See?
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? It went from that to this.
Those grooves in there, that was from a piece of dirt being in there.
Maybe a little tiny chunk of metal. And this is,
And it grew.
this rotates. So the
Yeah.
bearings are what keep the metal in good condition. That's what we don't want these to do.
Yeah.
Do you want to oil this cylinder?
Yes.
Okay.
Ready to drop this one in?
I do believe so. Check our rings.
So the compression rings are opposite this way, oil rings are opposite of each other this way. I'm not real sure why, but they advise not to use assembly lube on cylinder walls. I think it's because it's a little bit too slippery and it'll prevent the rings from seating, but I'm making that up. So it has an F on the piston to tell you which side's front. Oh, you're ready, go ahead.
Okay.
I was like,
Me too, I was waiting
just
too.
wait until.
Okay, let's start the cap bolts. Right here?
Yep, I was
Start
just
the
making
cap
sure that
bolts.
you've got your numbers
This one.
lined up, because that can go backwards.
Doesn't matter what bolt is in.
No, they're the same, either side.
Tap our cap.
Make sure my fingers are so clean.
Mm-hmm. We'll set this one in. So grab it around here. See how these are matching now?
Hmm?
And then that,
Facing that way.
that's the front of the engine. So then we'll just push on it, just kind of gently. All right, we got it without hammering. And we can roll it over. Sweet.
This engine is going to scream. It's going to be so killer.
I'm gonna go eat.
You're going to go eat lunch?
Mom texted and said your sandwich is here.
Okay. Go eat some food, dude. We're going to have this engine together by the time you finish. It's going to be ready to crank up. Yeah, right. Love you.
Love you.
couple more pistons to install and we'll be done with this portion. Oh my goodness, this is so freaking crazy.
You better not get any breadcrumbs in there. In that
I
sandwich.
wash my hands.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Rotate her on that way where the valve relieves are all the same direction. There it is. The last one going in. There she is. She found her home. Now that the engine is together, it is time for the heads and that amazing supercharger that bolts right on the top of that bad boy. Dang! As you can tell, we're not in the shop right now. We are in Las Vegas. We just finished SEMA 2019, and I actually completed this episode on the airplane trip here. All week, I intended to make this outro and the intro and throw it in and upload it to YouTube, but once we got here, we just hit the ground running and haven't stopped since. The work that we were doing here was shooting with Motor Trend for their TV special for SEMA. Watch for that. It's gonna air on December 20th, I believe, or sometime around that time, end of December, on Motor Trend. So that's gonna be awesome. I was honored to do that again and sort of still have a voice. SEMA is a thrash, you guys. Vegas is crazy, but people love it. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you very soon on the next one.